Welcome, everybody. It's Dr. Delatorro, y'all. I'm pumped and excited, y'all. We're here in Platinum Studios, and I'm really, really grateful for this wonderful opportunity to get a chance to interview some of my incredible students who are participating in Crush the Stage. And today I have a remarkable young man. His name is Neo Positivity. First of all, back the heck up, Neo. Talk to us, man. What is Neo Positivity, right? Because is that your real last name?
No, it's not my real last name. That's what everybody asks me, but no, it eventually started out as a philosophy that grew into a stage name, and I just owned it.
Okay, so tell us what you do. What does Neo Positivity do?
I am the voice of the Thoughts Become Things movement. People hear the law of attraction, and Oprah Winfrey refers to it as the cherry on top of the cake. I call it the cherry on top of a multi sprinkle, jimmies, and frosting. And what I did was I incorporated all of that into one philosophy, called it Neo Positivity. Rest is history.
Wow. So you're a speaker, right?
Yes.
Tell us what else you do. Tell us a little bit more about what it is that you do. How do you serve the planet?
People call me a motivational speaker, and I'm working on that.
Okay.
I'm more of a mindset guy.
Okay.
There's something going on in their mind, but people aren't really exercising their brain muscle the way they're supposed, the way they could to maximize their potential. 94+% of our thoughts are on autopilot. 65,000 thoughts.
Say that
on
again,
average.
brother. That's powerful.
65,000 thoughts on average per day per person, and over 94% of them are on autopilot. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want autopilot running my life.
Right. So one of the first things, right? So we're doing kind of media training today. So I'm taking my students through it. So one of the things, Neo, when I asked you the question regarding, tell me a little bit more about you, right? Your titles, your position, how you serve the planet, right? That's your opportunity to go straight into a little small commercial about how powerful you are as a speaker, as a pilot, as a communicator. So use that moment to really help educate the audience as to how you show up. Yeah. Okay. You use that. Okay. And then the other tip that I want to give Neo, and especially those of y'all who are watching, anytime you quote a statistic or anytime you quote a number, make sure you repeat it twice, because people are listening or watching, and 9 times out of 10, they didn't catch it the first time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Everything that happens in our lives, we attracted. Everything.
Yes, 100%. So I'm asking everybody to own your stuff. Own it. Bad, good, own it.
So how does someone, Neo, process that the bad thing that happened in their life, they attracted? How do you help someone who's gone through something traumatic, something that they didn't deserve, something that happened in their childhood, something that happened in their adolescence? How does that person process the fact that they attracted? Are you saying that they attracted that traumatic experience, whether it's a car accident or a molestation or a rape, or how does someone or war or something that's been challenging, or a financial crisis or an unexpected divorce or whatever? So anything that happens in our life, 100% of it, we attracted.
I usually just say, dang, it seems like you've been thinking about that a lot lately. And they go, yeah, man, it's all I can think about. I got them right there. You were so focused on it. See, whether you think about having debt or not having debt, your focus is on debt, and debt will grow in you.
Correct.
And that's how everything.
So how does someone who's been through something traumatic, who doesn't understand that they attracted it into their life, how do they rewrite that script? How do they rewrite that narrative?
Well, first you got to accept and own what happened. And then you have to dig deep into the brain and figure out how the brain works. The brain's not a muscle, it's actually an organ. But it works the way muscle works, and it has muscle memory. So when you continue to focus on things, you have to shift that focus proactively, like hitting the gym. If you were to lift heavy weights,
right,
low reps, and you wanted to switch it up, and you wanted to lean out,
right,
you would go high reps,
right,
low weight. You're going to do that with your brain. Instead of the negativity, you're going to start focusing on the positive, finding the silver linings. Muscle memory, your brain's going to start to do it for you. Now you're a new person.
Okay.
Family's looking at you better. Your work, life, everybody's respecting you. You're feeling better. Manifestations follow.
So 2 questions for you. Question number 1 is, what is the brain algorithm? And question number 2 is, what is the Thoughts Become Things movement? Tell us about those 2 things.
Well, it's just like Facebook. If you watch a bunch of cat videos on Facebook, they're going to start showing you a bunch of cat videos.
Okay.
And if you're stressing about this, and that at home, your brain is going to throw that back at you throughout the day. While you're driving in traffic, you're bored, while you're using the bathroom, walking down the hallway. All of a sudden, you get these random thoughts, and you're like, where did that come from? That's the algorithm playing its role.
So you're saying our brain has an algorithm, and it's constantly presenting to us our dominant thought.
What it's used to giving. Yeah.
Okay. And so what you're used to getting, you will continue to get. Sounds like the law of thermodynamics or the law of energy, right? An object in motion will remain in motion unless acted on by an outside force. But an object at rest will also remain at rest. So if you're stuck, you're going to stay stuck. Yep. Unless acted on by some outside force, which means our coaching and our mentoring gets to be that outside force that gets people to shift. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, you got to protect yourself from threats, both foreign and domestic.
Extrinsic and intrinsic. So you're saying the intrinsic thoughts are the domestic.
I got way more threats coming at me up here than in the physical.
Ooh, say that again, brother. Say that again, champ.
So, like I said, 65,000 thoughts, and they're all Facebook. What if? How's the world going to treat my kids 20 years from now? So many people say, I'm not negative. I don't have negative thoughts. No, you got to own it before you can fix it.
So thoughts become things. We all watched The Secret. We all heard, was it DeMartini who said it? Yeah. So we heard DeMartini say thoughts become things, right? And you took that and you ran with it and created a movement. Talk to us about that movement.
Well, I used to be a cop in New Jersey. Like I said, my old partner was a retired CIA agent. He told me about this movie that they make all their academy recruits every year. Every year. And I'm expecting some SWAT team rapid deployment. It was The Secret.
It was The Secret. Wow.
As soon as I saw puzzle pieces that were missing in my life, from childhood all the way up to that current moment, all filled.
Wow.
I was like, that makes so much sense. I dove in head first, got obsessed with it, and, the rest is history. Every time you see me, I have a shirt that says Thoughts Become Things on it, a wristband, merchandise. Yeah, it's become my life for good reason.
Do me a favor. I want you to look in the camera, and I want you to give our audience 3 or 4 thoughts that they should think daily so that they can start to attract the things that they want in their life.
Well, first, you got to wrap your head around the concept of that brain algorithm. So what I would suggest you do is practice waking up more often throughout the day. I like to rub my fingers together, just like that. To remind me, I'm in this room. This is where we're at. I'm here. I'm present. That's it. It's real simple. You do that proactively 5-6 times a day. Tomorrow, your mind is going to do it for you 2 or 3 times. Just keep going. Build on that. Every day, get more and more. So now your brain's waking you up. You're walking down the hallway, and instead of stressing about the drama, your brain brings you back to the moment. You say, ooh, let me take advantage of that. Let me say yes 10 times. What I love about yes is by the 3rd time you say it, you're smiling. By the 6th or 7th time, your brain is throwing at you reasons in your life to say yes, 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 and you're hype. You can do that anytime. You do that anytime. You can do it quietly. People don't know you're doing it.
Wow.
So just say yes 10 times. Say thank you 10 times. Change that brain algorithm and start feeding you something different throughout the day. And you will start to see the results. Like I said, it's going to start with you smiling more. Nice. And your kids are wondering why you're smiling so much. They want to smile more. They do smile. Their friends are smiling. Now your kids are hanging out with people that you want them to hang out with.
Right.
The ripple effect is crazy.
Dope, man.
Crazy.
Hey, with the last 45 seconds that we have, tell folks how they can get in contact with you and how you can serve them better.
Neopositivity.com. That's the website. You go there, you have access to the Instagram, all the services, seminars I offer, videos of me on stage, my championship speech that I gave at Dentistry's Got Talent. I make it simple for you. Neopositivity.com.
Fantastic. Thank you, Neo, man. I really appreciate this. This has been dope, brother.
Thank you for having me, brother.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Now, Neo, one of the things that I think is a beautiful opportunity for you is when someone asks you a question, and I want you all to understand that what we're doing here, which is like media training, right? So I asked you that the question about traumas very intentionally. And I asked you that question on purpose because someone who hears the whole thoughts become things, law of attraction, stuff like that, the first thing they're going to object to is the fact that the negative things in their life, they're not responsible for, because most people in their brain think that they're the victim, right? It happened to me. It didn't happen for me. So I want you to start using those opportunities when you get a chance to really educate people about how to process their trauma better. So here's where what I would encourage you to take it next time you get asked a question like that. I would say something to the effect of, For everybody who's watching and listening, I'm gonna act like I'm you, and you've been through something traumatic, painful, difficult, hard, something that you don't even understand. I can relate. I've been there. I'm not saying what happened to you is your fault. There's a big difference between it was attracted into your life and it was your fault. You see what I'm doing there, Neo? What am I doing there?
You're making them hate you less.
Dude, I'm making them hate. I'm making them hate me less, brother. You a trip, man. What are we doing there, though? What are we doing there, Neo?
No, you're getting on their level and you're showing them that we're all human.
Right.
We all got something going on.
Right.
Okay. And even us,
yeah,
letting those negative scenarios run for a half an hour when I should have stopped it a lot earlier.
Right. So I want to encourage you to, when you get those tough questions like that about attraction and energy and traumas and stuff like that, take a minute to really kind of build rapport with the people who have been through those traumas. There's a sales technique called feel, felt, found. Here's how feel, felt, found works. Whenever someone says, hey, oh my gosh, I've got this situation, I understand how you feel. I have felt that way before. However, I've learned some concepts and processes and principles and practices, and I have now found a better solution called feel, felt, found. Does that make sense? And it helps us to be more empathetic as we're helping to help humanity. Does that make sense? So you're evolved, right? Some people are not as evolved in terms of their philosophies about life yet. So they're going to have a hard time swallowing the fact that the traumatic things that happened in their life, they attracted through their thoughts. So I really want to encourage you to kind of come up with some tools, some techniques, and some teachings around how to help people embrace the traumas that they've experienced in their life in a more profound way. Does that make sense?
Boom.
Good job, brother. Good job, man. You did a great job with the media training exercise.